Pleasure to be joined now by former Miami defensive end Gregory Rousseau. Greg, how's everything going, man?
It's going great. Thanks for having me.
No problem. And it's been a couple months since the last time we talked. I know I did a summer article just getting to know you a little bit, and we've done a good job of developing a relationship here over the last few months. But I think it was June when we talked. A lot has changed since then. So just talk about how the past few weeks have been for you, man.
It's been wild, It's been stressful, but it's also been a blessing for me to just be able to come out here at Exos and just start training and working on my craft and trying to be the best me come April.
So, I mean, of course, we have to talk about that right away. Your decision to opt out of the 2020 college season and declaring your name for the 2021 NFL draft. So, just talk about that a little bit and what went behind that decision and why you made the correct decision.
I made the decision because my mom is a COVID nurse, or she was a COVID nurse, and for me to be able to get the opportunity to retire her and tell her she doesn't have to work no more, if I passed that up, I wouldn't be able to live with myself if she got sick or something at the hospital. So I took it and I did what I had to do for me and my family, and I'm sticking with it 100%.
Absolutely. And it was a big decision for you. And basically, you only suited up for Miami for one full season. Like your redshirt freshman year, you go out and have a historic year, ACC, the Defensive Rookie of the Year, 19 and a half tackles for loss, 15 and a half sacks. So just reflecting on that 1 year, your last year in Miami, just talk a little bit about that.
I mean, it was a blessing for sure. I worked really hard to come back from my injury, my first year when I hurt my ankle. So it was really like just a lot of hard work paying off. But like a lot of credit, it goes to my teammates and my coaching staff. Like they put me in the position to win. They rooted me on. They believed in me, even though I was coming back from an injury. They were always by my side. So I really got a lot of love for those guys and those coaches over there in Miami.
And so I'm going to read a couple lines of some things that NFL scouts have already told me about you. So don't take this to heart. I just want you to assess it a little bit. And this is one word that you're going to hear probably a million times from now and throughout your NFL career. And it's the word raw. I'm sure you've heard that word a million times. You're super raw. I mean, you're 6'7", 255 pounds plus, but a lot of people say that you're winning off of just your natural athleticism and that you're still raw. So just go in depth a little bit about that. And then just what is your answer to everybody just saying that you're raw?
I mean, honestly, yeah. I was at first in high school. I played receiver and safety, and then I kind of made the transition. I gained weight and stuff. So yeah, I feel like I was new to the position a little bit, but I feel like I'm really capable of going out there and beating anybody on any rep, and I know what to do out there. I feel like a couple times last year I was caught like lacking, and I didn't rush with a plan, but it's something that I'm gonna correct this off season. And I'm working on all facets of my game. I'm trying to get better in everything. But honestly, I feel like by the time I get to the league, and I feel like last year I was ready. I feel like if I was that raw, I would have maybe had like 6 sacks or 5 sacks, and I would have got a couple lucky plays. But there were some games where I had 12, 13 snaps, and I still had to sack that game in the beginning of the season versus Florida, North Carolina when it wasn't starting yet. So I feel like I do have a way to go. There's always things to improve on, but I definitely feel like I can go out there and compete with anybody.
Definitely, and I agree with that. But just talk about some of the things that you've been working on, whether it's some moves that you're trying to add to your repertoire. And I will say this: I think last year, as the year went along, I thought you became well seasoned as far as your pass rush plans, just knowing what you were able to do and just knowing your body a little bit more. I even saw, I think it was the bowl game, where you got past the offensive tackle with a little shoulder shimmy, and that's something that I didn't see from you early on in the year. So I know you know exactly what play I'm talking about as well. So just talk about that and how you're trying to add stuff into your pass rush repertoire.
Yeah, I definitely am going to add some more moves. I'm already adding them. I'm working on a calendar, and also just having a plan in my mind every single time when I line up, whether it's a run, pass, having this move, and then if this move doesn't work, going to this move. So yeah, just having a plan. And yeah, like you said, throughout the season, I definitely got more comfortable playing in the one tech, the 3 tech, the 0 tech, the 5 tech, all of that. I really got more comfortable and I got a lot more confident towards the end of the season. And I feel like I'm gonna be here in Exos in Pensacola, and I'm gonna just keep on working on my craft and getting more comfortable. Even though I'm not playing the season, I'm gonna still be working super hard and putting my body through that type of strain and stress.
Absolutely. So I want to talk about your story a little bit just because I think it is very unique, but I want to go all the way back to your childhood. I already know the story, but I want you to explain to all the listeners of how Madden really introduced you to the game of football.
For me, my older brother, he's about 28 now. He went and bought Madden. I didn't know anything about sports, and I was just like, man, it was the one with Ray Lewis on the cover. I'm pretty sure either that or Mike Vick, but I think it was Ray Lewis. I think it was Madden '05, and I was just like, man, this game is like a lot of fun. And I started just learning the little things like what HB means and what DL means and all that stuff. I was watching it was like the combine, like in the game you'd have to like tap the button and run a fast 40. So I had a lot of fun doing that. And I was like, man, I got to play football. Like this game's too fun. So that really inspired me, and it went a long way to just shaping me into the human being I am today. I might have been playing basketball or something if it wasn't for Madden, honestly.
Absolutely. So are you still a hooper to this day? You still play?
Yeah, a little bit, but I'm way bigger on football. I like 2K, but I'm way bigger on football though.
So who's your favorite team to play with on 2K?
It used to be the Heat when LeBron was here
Mm-hmm.
in Miami, but now I'd say it's probably the Bucks because Giannis is just unstoppable.
I got you. So let me ask you this. Are you good at 2K or do you just play 2K?
I mean, like maybe 2K19, I was good, but 2K20, I haven't played too much, so I'm good. I'm decent at this one. But 21, I'm buying it early, and I'm gonna get it right. My player's gonna be like 99 in a couple months. I'm telling you.
I got you. So I want to piggyback off Madden a little bit, just because I'm sure you've talked about this a little bit with your brothers, but you're gonna be on the game next year. How crazy is that gonna be?
It's such a blessing, bro. Honestly, like it's crazy just coming from being a kid and like just watching NFL Network or watching Sunday Night Football and be like, wow, those guys are so lucky. Like that's so unreachable. But honestly, when you put your mind to it and you work, obviously I was blessed with height and length and all that stuff. But when you put your mind to it and work hard, you could achieve anything you set your mind to.
Yeah, so I want to transition to your high school years now. You started your first 2 years at Coconut Creek, then you transferred to Shopping Yacht. So your recruitment started out a little bit slow, from my understanding, though. So just talk about how challenging that was, and then tell the story about Coach Diaz and then how he compared you to Manny Lawson.
So yeah, I was at Monarch. I was at Monarch High School. I was actually there when Calvin really was a senior. I was a freshman.
Okay.
Jerry Judy was there. So that team was stacked. They had a whole bunch of talent on
Yeah.
it. So I was over there. I was actually playing receiver, and they really inspired me in a way to play receiver because seeing them go to Alabama and get offers from every school in the country and be 5-stars, like man, like I can really do this. I can follow their footsteps. So I was trying that, and I got a couple offers for receiver like Indiana, NC State, USC offered me as an athlete. But yeah, my recruitment really picked up after I left Monarch, and I had some good sophomore tape from Monarch, and then my Champignon coach helped me out, helped me push that around the country. And I started getting some offers, and then I got Miami. And I had LSU, I had Georgia, but Miami was really the school that I was really committed to me and to actually like wanted me. Coach Diaz, personally, we still have a great relationship. He reached out. He was like, bro, I was playing safety, I was a linebacker kind of at the time. He was like, bro, you could do anything you set your mind to. If you play defensive end, you could be a Hall of Famer, basically. Like he was like, go watch Manny Lawson. I coached him at NC State. That's what he told me. He also was there with Mario Williams and all them, so he saw that they had similar frames to me and a similar skill set, and that some of them were converted wide receivers from high school. So he saw a lot of potential in me, and he really believed in me. And I was like, man, if he's the DC at Miami, like if he thinks I can do this, I can do this for sure. So I trusted in him. I believed him for sure, and I went out there and I balled out.
So that's kind of like a different position switch. Sometimes you see quarterbacks go to cornerback or, receivers go to linebacker or something like that. But wide receiver or safety going to defensive end, you rarely ever see that type of positional switch. So when coach came up to you and said, man, you need to put your hand in the dirt, like, what were you thinking? I know that was a crazy idea to you.
Yeah, at first I was like, oh, you mean outside linebacker, right? On a blitz or something? But then like he really he showed me how they had a position at Miami called the Viper, and how he drops 25% of the time and rushes 75%. So he was just saying like it still keeps that athletic type role in the defense. So I was like, man, I could be an athlete. Like, I can go out there and make some plays in space, even though I'm at DN. I could drop in the coverage and I could have fun out there and be someone who's like really like a chess piece for the team. So it was really a great idea, man. I'm so happy I did it, honestly.
Absolutely. So what was some of the biggest challenges that you faced making that positional switch, though?
The biggest challenges, probably at first is gaining weight. I gained the weight pretty fast, but I was stuffing my face, bro. Like I was like, waking up at night to eat food, so I could be above like 240 the next day in weigh-ins or whatever. So it was a struggle, but it all paid off for sure.
How much are you weighing now?
Like 260.
Good. That's a good way. I think they had you listed online at like 255 or something like that. I said, man, he looks bigger than that.
Yeah,
Now, from you look bigger from the summer than when we talked.
last year, I actually played last year at like 248, 249,
Okay.
240, 247, 249-ish, depending on the week.
Yeah, so I want to talk about some more adversity that you faced or some challenges that you faced just battling back from the fractured ankle, I believe what you had. So just what did that time off teach you? And then what did you try to learn during that time off?
During that time off, it really taught me that, God is a plan. Everything happened for a reason. You just got to keep your head down and work. That's what it really taught me. And also, it gave me a chance to sit back in the room and watch Joe Jackson and Jonathan Garvin, who's on the Packers, and Joe's on the Cowboys. It gave me a chance to sit back in the film room and just watch them, see how they move, see how they take notes in their meetings and all that stuff. And I really just took that into my game. And Garvin still helps me to this day. Me and him are real tight. So he was always giving me tips like, Greg, when you get back, do this, don't do this, So they really, especially Garvin, he really was like a big brother to me. He just kind of molded me, and he took that role. And if any question I had, like, hey, Neil, what's this in the defense? Or what's this? He was like, you do this, this. He broke it down like from he knew the defense like the back of his hand. So he taught to me, and now I do too. And I was actually teaching it to the younger dudes before I left. So it was all about just, just passing everything down. But me being hurt, like I said, it gave me a chance to learn the playbook in and out, like the back of my hand, and it also gave me a chance to the weight room because the whole entire time they'd be at practice, I'd be lifting and just getting stronger.
Good. That's definitely awesome. But I want to go back a little bit, rewind a little bit, and just talk about Coach Diaz and just talk about the culture change that he has accumulated now at Miami with the coaching change with him. I believe this is his third year. I believe there now. So just talk about how he shifted the culture there.
He really brought like just life back into the program and brought a lot of energy, especially on the defensive side. Like he came in and he was showing film in the old defense. Those dudes were like basically walking on the field sometimes when people are scoring touchdowns. So just he brought that mentality of like nobody's gonna walk all over us. We're gonna be the toughest team on the field, whether we lose, whether it's like a tie or we lose or we win. We're not gonna have the team out tough us or just we're not gonna lose because we're softer than them or anything like that. So he really just brought like a hard hat mentality and a blue collar just work ethic in Miami, and I feel like soon enough, like it's gonna all pay off, and I feel like it's all gonna come together this year for sure, or the next.
So I'm sure you've seen the document, The U. I'm sure you've seen it a million times. And what was your initial thoughts when you seen Ed Reed walk in the building and him now being on staff?
Now it was crazy. It was great. I was like, man, that's like I'm looking at him like I'm almost starstruck. I'm like, that's a legend right there. Like he did Madden too. he was on too. So that's all.
Right.
When I saw Ed Reed and he talked to me, he gave me little tips and stuff like that, and just just being a pro in college and just making sure that you're bringing somebody along. You're always working hard, but you're never showing. You're never bending down when you're a starter or anything like that. Because if you're a starter and you're bending down and you're tired, it's like the younger dudes are looking up at you like, man, you're supposed to be that guy. You're supposed to be that dude. So just showing us that, and I feel like he's helping out a lot with recruiting. Just having that old head in the room, done it before. It's great for the program, honestly.
Yeah, and I'm really glad you brought up recruiting just because Miami seems to really be getting back on track these past few months. I believe it was a defensive tackle named Leonard Taylor, a big commit that they just got recently. So what are some of the, culture changes that they're trying to instill there? And why do you think recruits are now just being more attracted to Miami as a whole?
I think they're being more attractive because of the fast tempo, the exciting, high-octane offense that we have now. And we already know the defense can play because we've been playing top 15, top 25 level defense for the past few years. So just that. And also, I feel like the philosophy that Coach Diaz and them are bringing is just like keep everybody home. Lock South Florida completely down. And when you get all those, imagine if Miami got Jerry Jeudy and Calvin Ridley and all of them who came out Miami, like Tyson Campbell, Pat Surtain, all of them are from the Broward, Miami area. So you get all those kids. You have an all-star team basically because there's so much talent in South Florida. So really, just keeping those kids in state for college and down in Miami is everything, honestly.
So let me ask you this, because you bring up a really interesting point. What do you think Miami has to do really to put a fence around the state to keep some of those guys in the state? Because, Clemson, Ohio State, all those schools, they really like to come down to Florida and essentially steal some of those big names back up north. So what do you think they have to do? What do you think Miami has to do to really put a fence around the state to keep those guys there?
Honestly, I feel like they just got to keep building relationships like they already are. They also, I feel like, have to win some games, because you're not going to want to go to a team that's losing 8, 9 games, and like we lost 7 last year. We lost 7 last year, but so it's amazing that we're still getting those recruits, and it shows it's a testament to Coach Diaz and his staff of how great, how much of how like they just know how to recruit. Like that shows so much. That's really amazing. We lost 7 games, and they're getting 5-star players. So yeah, it's really that. I feel like just winning and also putting more high draft picks in the draft.
Definitely. So, of course, I still have to ask you what you think of your Canes this year, man. They have 2 big-time prospects in your position, Jalen Phillips and Quincy Rochet. I know you're really excited about both of those guys. So, just what's your prediction for both of those guys this year, and what makes them so special?
I feel like they're both going to ball out. I feel like Quincy, what makes him special, he's really a technician, and it's like for him, it's like this toe's going to be pointed this way. It's every step. This hand's going to be right here, because he's not the biggest guy, but he plays with a lot of heart and has a lot of moves. So he's legit. And then Jalen, he's athletic, like freak of nature. It's crazy. Yeah, Jalen's a real deal though, for real.
Yeah. A lot of people are really excited about him. I think he was like the former #1 recruit in the country. So a lot of people are really excited to see him. So last question, then I'll let you get out of here. Let's transition to the offensive side of the ball. D'Eriq King, he's coming in with a lot of hype. And then also Brevin Jordan, another big-time name that a lot of people are already excited about as well. So just talk about how both of those guys are going to play this year and why there's so much excitement around D'Eriq coming to Miami.
Well, D'Eriq is like he could do anything on the field, honestly, but at heart he's a quarterback. So a lot of people say, like, oh, he's gonna be a running back or a DB at next level, but he's a legit QB. Like he could sling the rock. So he brings so much to the table, and his skill set's amazing. And then Brevin could do anything. He could pull around and block. He used to block me in practice. Me and him used to be going at it. He's a tight end. I go against tight ends in the games, and I'm like, man, this is pretty cake. I can just knock him right back. But Brevin's not one of those regular tight ends, So his skill set's huge. You could give him a jet sweep, throw a bomb to him, throw a pop pass to him. So he's really versatile. He's a great blocker, and I feel that duo is going to be unstoppable.
Yeah, and a lot of people are really excited about it, and I can't wait to see how Miami does this year. They lost a big piece in you, but I still think they'll be fine with Quincy and Jalen, and that defense is already going to be really good, even though they lost a lot of guys. Shaq is gone, and, a lot of other guys are gone on the defense as well, but I think they'll be fine just because we all know you guys reload there. Manny Diaz is doing a really good job of retooling everything. Now they just have to get that offense going, and I think D'Eriq is going to be able to do that.
I think so, too, 100%. The dude's
absolutely.
He's a born leader, man. He was leading our runs in the summer. He was doing everything like in it. You could tell he's gonna will us. He's gonna have that will to just get the victory in the fourth quarter, go down and score that touchdown himself. He's that guy for sure.
Definitely. Well, Greg, I want to thank you for joining the Reid Option podcast, man. It definitely was a pleasure, and we've developed a really nice relationship here over the last few months, and I really appreciate it. You're one of my favorite prospects in the draft. I think you're going to be a phenomenal talent if you just gain that weight, keep your head on straight, and get some more moves, man. I know it's coming. I know you've been working on it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that, bro. Thank you.
No problem. I appreciate you, Greg. Good luck.
Thanks.